The better you get at your work, the less money you'll make. This is not theory. This is what the hourly rate model does for every founder who gets to use it. And in this video, I'm going to show you a model that replaces it. So if you ever feel like you've been working more hours than ever and your income isn't moving at all, this video is for you. Most founders get to think that the answer is in raising their hourly rate, but the hourly rate isn't the problem. The problem is the model that it uses. And once you get to see why, you never get to price the same way ever again. So here's how the hourly model works and why it works against you. You charge for time, and so you need more hours to hit your income goals. But the problem with this is that there's a ceiling to how many hours you can sell. So what gets to happen next is that you resort to working harder, to getting better, and to becoming more efficient. But again, that too has its own problem, and here's where it breaks. The better you get, the faster you're going to finish your work. And what that means is that those are fewer hours billed, meaning that you're also going to be earning less money. And by now, if you're not seeing the problem I'm trying to paint to you here, let me just make it easier for you. That is the hourly rate trap. Now here's the math so that you can clearly get to see what I'm trying to mean. Using the hourly model, a founder charging 100 and working 60 hours is going to be earning 6,000. And on the other side of it, a founder who is using value-based pricing is going to be working 20 hours a month and earning 18,000, because it is the 18,000 that he values his worth to be. That is the value he charges or creates for his client. And notice something here between these two. Same skill, different models, but there is a 3 times difference in the income that is earned between the two. And so now my question to you is, why are you still charging for your time? Let me know in the comments. Now here's what's most common amongst the new founders. They price what they do, and that is they look at how long something takes, they multiply it by the rate, and then finally they get to send their invoice. But that's a wrong approach. The right approach would be, ask yourself one question, which is, what changes for my client because they worked with me? Or what changes for my client because I did their work? And something you need to take note about this question. It does not ask what is it that you delivered. It does not ask how long did it take for you to deliver that. But it emphasizes mainly what changed because your client did what you told them to do. Or what changed because you did your work for that client. And that's not a mistake, because your clients are not paying for your hours. They're instead paying for what your hours have produced, and that is the outcome or the results. So now this is the shift going forward. Stop trading time for money and start charging for the value that you create for your clients. And here's how you're going to do it in 3 simple steps. Step 1, identify the measurable outcome. Now, the way you're going to do this is by you have to look at your past 3 to 5 clients that you worked with and simply ask yourself one simple question. What changed the most for them by working together with you? I want you to notice something. This question doesn't emphasize on what it is that you delivered or how long it took you to deliver it. It is emphasizing the factor of change that came about by you working together with those clients. Did their revenue increase? Was there any time recovered for your clients by working with you? Did you help them solve their problem? And most importantly, was there any cost that reduced on their side by working with you? So find the pattern and turn it into something that is measurable. So here's an example that can help drive the point home. Let's say you helped a founder go from 3,000 to 7,000 in the last 90 days of working with you. That transformation and shift is the outcome you're looking out for, and it is that outcome that you're going to be selling. And just for clarity purposes, an outcome is something you can measure, improve, and deliver. So just a simple rule for you to follow. Anything you can't measure, you can't price it. Step 2 is calculate your value gap. The value gap is simply the distance between where your client is currently at and where they want to be. Mathematically, you can get this by using a simple mathematical equation. Your value gap should equate to the desired state minus the current state. Here's how you can get to put this equation into practice. Let's assume your client is currently earning 3,000, and what it is that they want to earn in the future is 7,000. So your current state is 3,000 and your desired state is 7,000, meaning that the value gap is going to be the desired state, which is 7,000, minus the current state, which is 3,000, giving you the value gap of 4,000. So if you get to multiply that 4,000 by the number of clients that they serve, that gives you the value of transformation that you create for your clients. And that number is what your price should always be anchored to and not the hours worked. Step 3. Get to price a fraction of the value that you create. Your price should never be a fraction of the time, but it should always be a fraction of the value that you create in the marketplace or the value that you create for a client. Here's how that looks like. So let's assume your client upside is 20,000 per month and your fee is 4,000 for a one-time project. That is a 5x return on their investment, meaning that for every 4,000 they get to invest, they are getting a 5 times the return on their investment. I mean, no serious founder can say no to a 5 times return. So whenever you get to present your price, always make it a habit to start with what that price unlocks. So put differently, always make it a habit to make the returns visible before you get to name your price. Because whenever a client sees 20,000 of value on one side and 4,000 on the other, the conversation stops being about whether they can afford it and starts being about when can we start. When you make this shift, I guarantee you 4 things are going to happen all at once. First is higher revenue because you're going to earn more without working more hours. Second is you're going to have fewer hours work because you work less and focus more on only clients that get to matter. Third, you're going to have better quality clients because now you get to attract clients that value results and not discounts. And then lastly, you're going to have more freedom because now you're going to build a business that gives you more time and not just the income. So here's the bottom line of all this. Price does not equate to hours. It only equates to the value you create in the marketplace or as per client. And also, you don't get paid for working harder, but you always get paid for the impact that you create in the market. So anytime you stop capping your income to the number of hours you work in the day and start anchoring it to the value that you produce, everything is going to change. The ceiling disappears, the right clients show up, and the work starts paying for what it's worth. So if you've just watched that and you're doing the math on your clients right now, that's good because that's the right way to start. But knowing the formula and applying it to your next proposal, your next sales conversation, and your next retainer renewal, that's a different problem. And honestly, that's where most founders get stuck. And the solution to this is the Price Clinic, a one place where we work all through this together, find the real pricing decisions, get real feedback, and associate with real founders that are going through the same shift just as you are. So if you're ready to stop pricing time, that's where to go next. I'll be leaving the link to it in the description, so check it out.